Welcome to UPSC with Sukumar. So in this video I will explain regarding the concept of volcanoes. So what is a volcano? Volcano is basically a vent or crack on the earth crust through which lava, ash, gases, rock and other fragments come out, right? Suppose we know that the earth is divided into different layers, right? That is, the first one is the crust, mantle and the core region, right? So in this mantle region we have magma. Okay, so suppose in the earth surface or on the earth crust, if there is any crack has happened, crack or a fissure has happened, and through this crack the magma present in this mantle layer will reach the earth surface, right? Will reach the earth surface and starts flowing on the earth surface as lava. And this specific process is what we are calling it as volcanism or volcanic activity. And the crack or vent through which this lava is coming out is called as a volcano, right? Now what are the causes for this volcanism, or what are the reasons for this volcanic activity to occur, right? So there are few specific reasons specifically for this volcanism to happen. The earth, which we know, is made up of plates, right? According to plate tectonic theory, the earth is divided into different plates, right? The lithosphere of the earth is divided into different plates. We would understand this plate tectonics theory in detail in the upcoming videos. Okay, so for now just understand that the earth is divided into, or the earth lithosphere is divided into different plates, and when there is any two plates that are moving away from each other, right, or diverging away from each other, we can say that the plates are pulling apart from each other, weak zones will be formed. You can look at in this image also. This is one plate and this is another plate, and they are traveling in the opposite directions, and because of that there is a weak zone has been forming in between these plates, and because of these weak zones the magma will quietly enter through this weak zone to the surface, right, through which the volcanoes will form. We can observe this sort of volcanism activity in the mid-Atlantic ridge, in the Atlantic Ocean, right? And the other reason is the convergence of boundaries. That means in the divergent boundaries two plates are moving away from each other, but in case of convergent boundaries the plates are coming towards each other and one of the plate is getting subducted under the other plate, right? When this plate is getting subducted under the other plate, after reaching certain depth, because of the temperature and pressure present at this depth, the subducting plate will melt. That means the rocks and various other substances, because of the temperature and pressure at those depths, will get melt, and they will start rising upwards, right? You can see in this image also, through which volcanoes will be formed. And the best example for this sort of volcanisms is Andes mountains. Okay, right? Andes mountains in the Pacific ring of fire. So other region other than the divergent and the convergent boundaries, the other one is the hot spots or the mantle plumes. Usually there are some hot columns of magma rising from the mantle region towards the earth crust. You can see in this image also, right? This is the core region, this is the mantle region, and this is the crust region, right? So the magma is coming through the some narrow gaps or weak zones. So when this magma reaches the earth surface through the weak zones or the narrow regions in the earth crust, we can see volcanoes will be formed. So for forming these sort of volcanoes, there is no need for the plate tectonics. Even under the absence of this plate tectonics also, we can see the volcanism here, and these are called as the mantle plumes, which consist of high temperatures of magma, right? And those are also called as hot spots. And the famous example for this kind of volcanic activity we can see in the Hawaiian island in the Pacific Ocean, right? So these are the causes for the volcanic activity to happen. And next, these volcanoes can also be classified into different types based on the type of eruption and the type of lava that is getting ejected from those volcanoes, and the type of material that is getting ejected also, right? So the first one is the composite volcano or the stratovolcano. We can see also in this image, right? We can observe that there are different kind of layers, right? So this one is the one layer, and the upper one we can see covered by snow also. So in these composite volcanoes, actually it is built up by layer. That means the volcano is building up by layer. We can say one layer is formed because of the lahars, that is called as the mud flows, and immediately after that we can say the lava is getting accumulated on that particular mud flows. That means the composite volcano here is getting built by layer, right? And mostly the lava that is getting ejected from this composite volcano is an acidic lava. That means acidic lava means consisting of more amount of silicate minerals, okay? And if the silicate mineral is less in this lava, then we can call that sort of lava as basic lava. But because of we are having the acidic lava, that means it is having more silicate minerals here. And the ejections will also consist of ash and the various volcanic bombs also. And one more thing as the lahars, that means mud flows will also happen through these volcanoes, composite volcanoes. And the eruptions that are happening in this composite volcano are alternating. That means sometimes the eruption can be explosive, and sometimes the lava will flow quietly. And while the lava is flowing quietly, we can call it as an effusive eruption, right? And the most famous example for this composite volcano or the stratovolcano is Mount Fuji, that is located in Japan. So in the UPSC prelims also, or various state examinations also, they can ask or they can give in a match the following. On one side they will give the volcanoes, and on the other side they will give the type of volcano, right? And they will give the matching. So they can give Mount Fuji on one side, and on the other side they can say it is a composite volcano. Whether it is correctly matched or not, we can say it is correctly matched. So these examples are also very much important, okay, right? And next one is the shape of this volcano. What is the shape of this volcano? It is very steep and conical in nature. We can see here, right? It is steep means it is more slanty in nature, and cone, it looks like a cone also, right? More steepy and looking like cone also, right? That is the composite or the stratovolcano, right? Okay. Next one is the shield volcano, right? Shield volcano means we can say it is in the shape of a shield, right? See, we can see it in the shape of a shield, right? That's why it is called as the shield volcano, built up of the basaltic lava. That means The composite volcano is made up of what? It's made up of acidic lava, that means it having more silicate minerals. And in basaltic lava, what happens? It is having very less amount of silicate minerals. That's why we are calling it as a basaltic lava. And then the shape is broad and gently sloping dome. So the composite volcano is steep, very steep in nature, but we can see here it is gently sloping and dome in shape, right? That is why it's called as the shield volcano, and it is made up of basaltic lava. And the eruptions are usually quiet only, not explosive. And if in case any water enters the vent means through which the lava comes out of a volcano. So in those vents, if any water is getting entered, that means the eruptions will be very explosive in nature. So the famous example for is the volcano of Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Okay, right, this is regarding the shield volcano. And the next one is the calderas. Calderas are the most explosive kind of volcanoes, so explosive that when there is any eruption happens, the erupted surface of the volcano will tend to collapse on themselves only. And because of the collapse, there will be formation of depressions, and those depressions are called as the calderas. You can observe in this image also, right? So that is the caldera kind of volcanoes. And the next one is the flood basaltic provinces. Okay, so what happens here? The volcanoes will outpour the highly liquid lava, right? Highly liquid lava over hundreds of kilometers. And because of the coverage of so many kilometers, and because of formation of the various types of soils, because of this lava flows, there is good amount of agriculture can happen. And the famous example is Deccan traps. That means, so flood basaltic provinces. Flood means because of lava is spreading over so much area like a flood, and the minerals that are present in the characteristics of the lava is basaltic in nature. That means very less amount of silicates, right? And because of these lava, there are some provinces, some areas are forming. So that's why flood basaltic provinces, right? And the next one is the mid-ocean ridge volcanoes. So we can see in the initial phase also, because of the divergence of these plates, weak areas will be formed in between these plates, and the magma will come and reach the earth surface from the mantle layer, forming the volcanoes. And we can observe these sort of volcanoes in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the famous example. Atlantic Ocean. So after the classification of volcanoes, we can now understand regarding the volcanic landforms. So when the magma is coming from the mantle region, the magma can be cooled inside the earth crust or cooled on the surface of the earth. So if the magma is cooled inside the earth crust, we can say the intrusive landforms are formed, and the landforms are plutonic rocks, and the rocks that are formed because of the cooling of the magma inside the crust itself are called as plutonic rocks. And the rocks that are formed because of the cooling of lava on the surface, the volcanic rocks will be formed, and those sort of forms are called as the extrusive landforms. So the intrusive landforms are mentioned in the NCERT, so I will explain regarding the intrusive landforms here. Okay, so intrusive volcanic landforms that are formed because of cooling of magma inside the earth crust. So one such intrusive landform is batholith. What is batholith? It is a granitic rock formed deep inside the crust, right? You can see in this image also. So when we say that is the total crust region, the batholith is formed here. See, the batholith is formed here. Batholith will appear on the surface only after the denudational process. That means when after the upper layer is gone because of various weathering and all those activities, then only we can see this batholith will be on the, then only we can see this batholith, right? It develops as the large domes and assumed depth that may be several kilometers also. Okay. And the next one is the laccolith. We can see laccolith also in this image. This one is the laccolith. See, from here, that means from the mantle region, the magma is flowing towards the weak areas, flowing towards the crust in the weak areas, and it starts spreading horizontally also in some places where the weak zones are present and get solidified. Those sort of parts are called as the laccoliths. There are the large dome shaped intrusive bodies connected by a pipe like conduct from below, right? This is the pipe like conduct from below, right? And can be regarded as the localized source of lava that finds its way to the surface. For the famous example is granitic domes in the Karnataka plateau. And the next one is the lapolith. So magma is spreading sideways along a weak zone, settles in a saucer shaped depressions. That is the lapolith, right? This one is the lapolith. See, the lava is spreading towards the weaker zones on the weaker zones horizontally and forms a localized dome like structure, right? Sideways, the lava, the magma will spread sideways here and forms a weak zone and saucer shaped depressions. That is called as the lapolith. And phacolith, the lens shaped bodies formed because of the intrusive rocks. So there is in the NCERT also there is no image of the phacolith here, but we can say it is a lens shaped body formed because of the cooling of magma inside. And silts are the horizontal sheets of intrusive igneous rocks. And next comes the dikes, the last one, when magma forces its way up through the vertical cracks and solidifies into a wall-like structure oriented perpendicular to the surface. We can see in this one in the image. So this is the dike. So the magma is cooled perpendicularly to the surface. This is the surface, right? Perpendicular to the surface, it is cooled, forming a wall-like structure. That is called as the dike. So this is regarding the volcanoes.